Welcome to Learning Interactive Design. I've got a bit of an outline to get things started. So here is the actual welcome. Like, why care about this and what are you in for with me sharing this kind of topic? I mean, first, I, I love digging beneath the surface to understand things, and learning to research is one of the things we do here. Interactive design is multidisciplinary, and you're going to run into jargon, like words that mean a lot to an in group but not a lot to someone outside of the group. And I end up using jargon sometimes. I do my best to use plain language because I think it's more accessible for all of us to think plainly about these things, but we're going to run into that sometimes. And also, when you don't like the names I use, but you're like, oh, that function, that makes that how that works makes sense. Change the name. Learn to name things. So a creative discipline like interactive design, you're doing game design, you're creating products with product design, or you want to add a bit of design to your electrical engineering or anything, whatever brings you here. We take up space, right? We have a discipline that puts things in other people's lives, and we can choose that. Well, we can do that with care and kindness and inclusion, and so let's make things respectfully. That's part of that, how I teach and put this to use. What design means to you, that matters a lot. That's your foundation. That's what we're building. That's what you're building from. So let's dig into that further and also connect that to other interesting things. And whatever you're doing, you're finding out how to essentially learn on the job. Put learning to use to solve problems to make what you make better. Make enough to learn enough to make more or change what you made. And then it ends up accomplishing things for you and for who you're making it for. This kind of learning, if you're bringing it to a workspace, can well, it'll take resources, so there may be some kind of arrangement and permission and commitment and whatnot to work through this. But like as you're going along, though, in your own experience, no one has to give you permission to pay attention and be curious and to learn from what's going on around you. And when you can make use of that, that means you have a chance to create iteratively and discover what something needs to become instead of just only building off of assumptions. And that situation, that kind of how you compose the how you make a thing, that works in some places and it doesn't work in others. But that's a good thing to be informed by. That creating iteratively, it rewards learning, which is a principle I believe in very deeply. So we'll explore things that help us practice gathering perspectives, things from like, you know, usability design or asking open questions and stuff like that. And to do that, whether you're working alone or with other people, in a way that helps you gather other perspectives. Because when you think about things from someone else's set of needs, it it lets you see past gaps in your own understanding. And that's an important part of this practice. Two, two more parts to the welcome left. Well, this is a partnering discipline. And so inherently, you're curious about other people. You're integrating what you learn about them into what you're making to make it respectful and caring and accessible and whatnot for them. And that partnering discipline can be clash in a culture that may be more of a dominance culture. So be aware of that. Be aware that we'll talk about how do you work with folks who want to essentially make designing things for people purely transactional, like pay this much, get that much, whatnot. And the good thing is that it's all people that are doing this. We can learn about them as well. I have a whole bunch of workshops and things that I've taught over the years, but I don't really have a perfect map for this. Inherently, I'm just jumping in and discovering this along the way, like what fits for here to teach and share about interactive design. So what do you want to learn? What are you curious about? What kind of problems or challenges or things are you wondering where you discovered something that works well for you or doesn't, or something that you made and you want to learn more about it? Let's talk about that. Ask me questions here, and that'll help guide what I teach next, which will include all kinds of things. And at some point, I do hope you ask questions along the way when I'm doing stuff like sharing. Here's a bit about usability research, where if you make a game and you're sitting at an expo and you want to learn from folks who are playing it, a bit about, well, drawing and some storytelling and maybe game design and all kinds of stuff. So um, yeah, more to come. And whatever we do here, let's make meaningful things and make things respectfully.